about the match, and we can, circle back into what happened after the match, because it was a great match, and I loved, the entrances were great, and it was a well-paced match. And you talked about Hobbs being really strong, and I thought he did look very strong, and he's growing every single week, growing better and better. And all four of these guys in this match are, to me, top-notch stars.
Really, you said it well. This is a combination of guys who, if you ask 10 different people, you might, you're going to have 10 different answers on who the favorite person is, who the most bankable star is. You really, honestly, this is an incredible pairing of talent, a blend of guys who have experience, a blend of guys who have upside. This was an awesome match for me. Like I was, when I saw this match, I've been clamoring for Hobbs to join Team Taz. I've been clamoring for him to just embrace being a big bad motherfucker, just beat the heck out of everybody, right? And before the show, I was eyeing the card, and the obvious ones, the Omega and Moxley match stood out, the Battle Royal stood out, right? But and I got some good conversation tonight about the Baker match, because I'm a DMD fan, but this match was sneaky good for me, because I wanted Willie Hobbs to just beat the hell out of Darby Allin. I just wanted him to throw him around and enjoy beating him up, just like,
he definitely did that for sure.
Be a bully, right? Just be a bully about it. Just muscle him around. And, I'll say Darby you and I have had so many conversations about Darby's character, right? And he has really been, there are a few characters on AEW television that we will say define the brand, right? I think that Darby being paired with Cody that's a great example of two people who are. I think Orange Cassidy is quickly becoming that, right? There are certain characters on this show that when you think AEW, you think those guys. And Darby, to this point, although he's a TNT champion, really has shown to be more of a whipping boy, like a rag doll. Yeah. And this is something that was so frustrating to you. You and I had this conversation about it. When he was getting beat up by Brian Cage, you're like, man, I want Darby to start to look strong.
I know.
And I was trying to tell you, like, I think his resiliency is what makes him strong. But after tonight, with a convincing win, with that awesome coffin drop off the top, that was a beautiful coffin drop tonight. For those Darby Allin fans tonight who want to capture like a good gif of a coffin drop, tonight's was perfect.
Yeah.
But for him to get a guy like Sting as his advocate,
hopefully,
I think we're gonna see a whole nother side of Darby. I think we're gonna stop the beatings that he's gonna take. Stinger, you as a guy who, like you said, the 6th grade version of you carrying around that baseball bat, I got a feeling that Sting's gonna teach Darby how to stick up for himself. And it's gonna be a really beautiful pairing. I can't fathom a better matchup for a young star like Darby Allin. I'm so excited. They're going to create all these little new Stingers, Stinger fanboys across the world, right?
Yeah, I think, as you talked about it, if it's true that Sting is essentially like his Taz to Ricky Starks, and essentially like that, I could see Darby kind of adopting the baseball bat gimmick, in a sense like that. That'd be kind of a nice, like, torch, passing the torch. I know, but like, as this weapon, it could be something, that's really an ode to Sting. The match was, Cody had some nice hot moments too, when he did that Cody cutter off the top rope.
Cody's always incredible.
Yeah, he's always fun to watch.
And sadly, in AEW, we do, don't we? Yeah. I feel like we don't appreciate Cody as much as we should. It's easy to take a guy like him for granted, because every time he's out there, he never cuts a bad promo.
No.
Ever. His matches, yes, they can sometimes be for me, and I've mentioned, sometimes he can make every match an epic match, right? Sometimes it can be a little overkill. But that's a criticism that, I'd take it. I'll take it, because he leans into the storytelling.
For sure.
98% of his matches benefit from that epicness. And, so he's really smart about telling that story in the ring. And he's a perfect blend of like strength, because he's a beast, but still being athletic where he can hang with anybody, right? And so he makes for such a good base. He's just such a great all-around polished wrestler. And
I agree. He was great in this, and sadly, like, not sadly, but for once, or for the first time in a long time, like, he was not necessarily the one to talk about in this match. You know, he had some great moments, but it's not like you're like, oh, did you see Cody in this match? You're not talking about, even without Sting. You know, you'll be talking about Darby getting the
Hobbs,
pin.
man.
Hobbs and Darby. I think those are two ones that shined in the match. You know, what I really loved about the match was that the Darby and Cody went right after them right away.
Yeah.
You know, before the bell, they went after him. But the only bad thing I'm going to say about this match is
let's
nothing
see.
Nothing with the match.
Let's get into that.
Yeah, nothing with the match itself, but the fact that they went to commercial less than 60 seconds into the match, and it wasn't even picture in picture. So you see them attack it, and then they go to commercial, and I'm like so confused, like this random commercial when you literally, the bell doesn't even ring and there's fighting going on. So that's the only bad thing I'm going to say about the match. The match for me definitely wasn't elite. You know, we saw Hobbs look like the powerhouse he is. We saw Darby get the pin and the coffin drop finish finally, even though he did get a little crash test dummy-esque thrown around, but he ended up with his head held high and his hand held high with the victory, and it's a great win by the team. And, you know, it was fun to see Arn Anderson start throwing bows, and then, you know, they bring the FTW title in. You know, there's so many different stories that are going to be coming from this. And then if you watched Dark last night, you had the Gun Club come out there mimicking Taz with the towels over their head. So, you know, you can throw in the Gun Club trio versus the Taz trio. And so you can get some momentum on the Team Taz, because obviously they would probably take down the Gun Club. And then you can still kind of intertwine this. Now Dustin Rhodes is involved. And so, you know, you have this great feud of core guys that it's going to last for a while, and it's going to be exciting to watch. And unfortunately, we didn't get any traction of that whole promo about the FTW title. You know, it'll be interesting to see where they go from there. Hopefully we'll hear next week's Dynamite on what the status about that is, but maybe Sting will have something to say about that, and then there'll be kind of some stipulation match or what. But it's going to be this could be main event stuff, and it should be main event stuff depending on the week.
I would say
an elite match for sure.
Yeah, I would say that Team Taz has proven that they can hold up in a main event, right? I think that you know, it's telling that we didn't say really anything about Ricky Starks in all of our conversation about this match at this point. And, you know, up to this point, Ricky Starks has been the most polished, buzzworthy star of Team Taz. I mean, every time he's on commentary, every time he's in the ring, Starks feels very comfortable in his own skin. And that shows on camera. There are some people who struggle, who you can feel are trying really hard to make this work. Starks never feels that way. That guy always feels comfortable, confident, cool, in control of everything. And because of that, you know, you can really see his stardom rising. You know, when you have a guy who, no matter how much pressure you put on him, he always seems to feel kind of cool and has it together. Well, that's a guy that you can turn to when the going gets tough. So I think AEW has something with Ricky Starks there. That said, man, this match is an elite out of me because you know, one, obviously the overall takeaway that we got from that moment that we got to see with Ricky Starks battling it out. We ended up seeing really Darby Allin getting that nod of approval from Sting. It was an incredible overall match. We get that big moment, but I was impressed by the fact that, and you said this earlier, so many stories are being told on AEW. We really get to see here the continuation of Willie Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs, turning into like really the baddest dude in the crew. You see, you know, that continuation of the Ricky Starks and Darby Allin feud that's been going on for how long now?
Yeah.
There's just so much that we can gather out of this. And I love that. I love that about what AEW does. It really, Jericho talked about it. You know, one of the things that they push in this company is to tell a full story, beginning, middle, and end. And it rewards us as fans to see that play out. And I think that what we're seeing with you just mentioned, the Gun Club now getting involved, is that development of Team Taz versus the Nightmare Family.
Mm-hmm.
You saw tonight, Dustin Rhodes got involved, Arn Anderson got involved, the Gun Club got involved. Cody, we sometimes forget Cody's got an army with him, right? Just because he's the good guy doesn't mean that he doesn't have this huge army behind him. So Team Taz might have bit off more than they could chew when it comes to getting involved with the Nightmare Family, because we just saw Dustin's out there, and you don't want to mess with Dustin. That dude is a beast. He's 50 plus, and my man is killing it right now.
Yes.
So you got the Gun Club, who again, like we've seen them on Dark, those guys, and we actually saw Austin Gunn win recently on Dynamite and not long ago. So there's a lot to like about what we're gonna see here. I was just incredibly impressed more than anything. I left this match feeling like multiple people were kind of made as stars.
Yeah.
Willie Hobbs had that moment. Sting and Darby had that moment. And Ricky Starks continued to show.